Yo, what's up? It's your boy Kupz the Universe, and we are back, aka Polar Lounge, aka PD Mossberg. And I want to clear something up because I see how certain things I've done in the past stretched on, right? Now, when I went on to my sovereignty, right, which my sovereign claim and rights was acknowledged, right? It was a journey. I was running around, like, learning things. I was copying the bar max because my homeboy had it in the computer tablet, and it was on digital. And I always thought that digital can't hold information because, all my electronics go bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just die on me. And I be having mad books, e-books and them shits, and I be losing all that shit all the time. So I learned all the bar max. I learned all this USC code for the most part. I knew what it was. I knew which codes I needed. You know what I'm saying? And even some UCCs and even penal codes and all that. Like, I just knew a lot, right? So I challenged the courts and all that. You know what I'm saying? And it was like really crazy because I challenged them in the public. So I was talking to a bunch of people that didn't know what I was talking about. But when I did it, like I said, you can't hide the truth, man. People be hiding the truth. So, long story short, so later on, like in the 2000s and 10s, between 2010 and 2020, I made an EP or a mixtape, right? And the mixtape was called Frozen Water, right? On this mixtape, Frozen Water, I was rapping about, the codes and certain things. But as an ad-lib, I was like, sovereign citizens, right? Mind you, I was just saying that. Now, disclaimer, I can say what I want. If I call myself a sovereign citizen, right? Not for nothing, right? Just saying, these are just words, right? And then they looked at me and then I went into what nationals discuss. If I go into the U.S. Code, and I know what I'm talking about via Black Law's Dictionary and knowing the definitions of legal terms versus regular meanings, right? It didn't matter what I called myself. It would have been the same. So mind you, I was just doing a mixtape. It was all for fun. So I was screaming sovereign citizens. Mind you, I took it down when I realized people were silly and copycats and didn't know what the fuck was going on. So what I realized started happening was when I did that mixtape and I started screaming sovereign citizens. I started screaming it. I didn't scream it through the whole album. It wasn't like, yo, we're sovereign citizens and nothing. I was just saying sovereign, and then it was like citizens was after because we were talking about a lot of rights and things. So I was just like, sovereign citizens, right? Mind you, I was just bullshitting. Made a mixtape. Now, mind you, if you listen to the mixtape, even though I would say that at the end, a little ad-libs, you heard U.S. Code in there. You heard the things that nationals discuss, the things that sovereigns discuss. Drop the citizen, just sovereigns, right? So I said that. Now, the whole down south, I started realizing on the news, right? First of all, the people that I challenged was watching, right? I didn't know they was watching me till like recently. Now I know like they watch because the things I say, they kind of emulate it, right? So they was watching. And what they assumed was that I was the head of sovereign citizens, right? Like I was the sovereign, right? Mind you, my state and claim, my paperwork that's notarized and sealed by my hand and right, by my own free will and hand and stuff like that, right? It just says sovereign claiming rights, right? It don't say nothing about no sovereign citizen. It's indigenous to the natural beings, natural persons, natural beings to the land, real land, North America. You know what I'm saying? Blase, blase, blase. So, because the South heard these mixtapes, and I didn't even know they was listening, you know what I'm saying? I started watching the news, and then they started saying, I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm a sovereign citizen, right? Now, when they saying this, they're not doing any of the they're not saying anything that's of validity to even convert the jurisdiction over into they self, right? This was the mistakes that anybody that was saying sovereign citizen was making, and I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Because of my mixtape, I was the first person to say that dumb shit, but it was an ad-lib. And the whole down south started running with it. And was like, yo, sovereign citizen, sovereign citizen, sovereign citizen. Mind you, They were saying things like, you can't stop my car, or I could ride without licenses. And they wasn't doing the actual, UCC-308 situation to actually have your own plates and all that, right? See, it was information. Now, mind you, back in New York City, at this time, when I even made that mixtape, any public officials, anybody that bumped into me knew that I knew what I was talking about. They was the ones calling me well-versed. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I'm trying to say, like, that title, no title even matters. You don't even got to call yourself anything. All you got to do is make sure you separate yourself from the U.S. corporation, in a sense, by your own consent. And then, you know what I'm saying, now you outside of it. You know what I'm saying? So that happened. I started watching mad black people saying nonsense like that and not even knowing the U.S. codes, not even knowing the UCCs, not even knowing the international laws, or even the bar max, you know what I'm saying, contract, criminal, you know what I'm saying, constitutional, you know what I'm saying, secure transactions, things of that nature. Anybody that knows the bar I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But because it's a private thing, not all of y'all gonna have that information. But at the same time, I started watching these people calling themselves sovereign citizens getting violated because they were still under the jurisdiction of U.S., you know what I'm saying? U.S., the corporation. They were saying certain things, but they wasn't saying enough. And they were speaking to people that wasn't even privy to the information. So when I was doing it, when I was challenging judges and polices and whatever, when they arrest me, my mouth was shooting like a gun, like a machine gun. And I was making police look into their handbooks and things. And what happened was, because of the stuff that I was saying was true, it's only because it's true that it worked. Because mad people was looking at me like, yo, he bugging, he's saying crazy shit. And these are cops, these are judges, these are lawyers. They all looking at me crazy. Until they started looking into their own handbooks and going behind the scenes. And they was like, wait a minute, he's actually right. And then with that, it was like a shock to their system. Because they swore they was right. They swore I was some ignorant, degenerate, non-intelligent being. And then for somebody that you look at like that every day to sit there and trump your intelligence by knowing something you thought was fake and is actually true, it really shocks their system. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we work. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I always knew all those laws. So whether I was screaming U.S., I never ever told them I was a sovereign citizen either. Like they heard my mixtape and they just started calling people down there sovereign citizens. Them niggas down south just started screaming that shit. I didn't even tell them to say that shit. Like that wasn't even it was just a mixtape. But behind the whole fact, we knew the actual laws. So we knew what to say to neutralize them. So it looked like to those people down south, like it was just, you say sovereign citizen or something, I guess. And it was supposed to just neutralize them. No, it's a whole list of things that you gotta say. And it's a whole things you gotta know. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all just consent to everything. So you give them jurisdiction over you. Y'all don't even have the backbone to say you don't consent to things. Y'all do it with your own people, but y'all won't do it with them. You see what I'm saying? That's why they still got control over y'all. So then them sovereign citizens, quote unquote, a lot of them guys from down south that started claiming what I said in my mixtape. But mind you, they didn't even listen to my mixtape because my mixtape had the U.S. codes and everything broken down into it. I even had a song that had it like, you know what I'm saying? No, not on that one. That was more my Fear album. I took that one down because I didn't think people was ready for it. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it was speaking on U.S. codes and things of that nature. So I didn't understand how the only thing they took out of the mixtape was the word sovereign citizen, and then didn't even know how to defend their own, you know what I'm saying, rights with their legality. They didn't even know their rights. They didn't even know what the rights entail. They didn't even know the words to say that enacts your rights. You see what I'm saying? It's word magic. It's not just... So I just want to say that because I keep seeing sovereign citizen getting thrown around, and I'm like, nigga, I'm a gangster, nigga. Like, I've been in these streets for a long time. I've been running around. I've been around a lot of real dudes, and I'm intelligent. So I ain't never get caught up in those systems and nothing like that. Thank God, right? Blessings. But I'm going to say it as a real dude because ain't none of y'all out there like, nigga, if I said I was a sovereign citizen, they would have respected it because I know my rights. I know the laws. I know the laws to say to them. I would have been putting them on pressure. So even if I was down south screaming sovereign citizen, they would have left me alone. You understand? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It's not what title you call yourself. It's the fact that you know the laws that actually enact your rights or protects your rights. That's it. You can't just follow somebody else and not study these laws and think that you're gonna know what they know. Just because they say a title, like you sort of say the title when you're gonna, and that title was not even a real title. I was just making an ad lib to go with the song. We sovereigns and nationals. Now I'm going to call myself an indigenous national now. That's the new thing. Now I'm calling, like, not even the new thing, but that's like the title I like, indigenous nationals. Because that makes it takes away from that foreign, but then it still places us in the foreign because we from the real land, North America, and these guys are foreign. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to say that. Them Southern brothers jumped on an ad lib I put on a mixtape called Frozen Water sometime in 2000, between 2010, 2020, and they started screaming that. Now, the whole internet running around screaming that because the police swore to God that was that. In that mix, they was trying to make me out to be some kind of terrorist. They was like, oh, the BIE, Black Identity Extremist. They tried to throw that on my title. Those like the first 3 letters of my real name. So don't think I didn't notice what was happening. It's just that I didn't conform to any box. So it wasn't no box that they could put me in. Even they Sigma thing that they try to call me now. It's like you still can't even, because as I evolve, you're going to have to come with something new. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I wanted to be said. Shout out to all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Bad Wolf. Shout out to everybody. I'm keeping it 1,000. I'm the reason they started screaming sovereign citizen, but I didn't tell them, yo, I'm a sovereign citizen, and we're going to be sovereign citizens, or I'm the sovereign, and they the citizens of me, or some nonsense like that, right? Because the government thought I was taking over in the 2000s. Mind you, I did like 2012 or 2014, when I actually challenged them and got my paperwork stamped and all that shit. Then I was just dormant. You know what I'm saying? Because they like I said, they tentacles was reaching other family members, and I know it. So I was just like, all right, I'm going to fall back because I didn't really understand it. Now I understand it like nobody's business. You know what I'm saying? So even all the paperwork that we was confused about, I'm not confused about it no more. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that, you know what I'm saying? Let's kill the whole sovereign citizen title, period. If you're a sovereign, then you're a king of you or your territory. That's it, all right? Let's just keep it like that. Get rid of the citizen at the end of that shit because y'all fucking it up for everybody else. And I'm the nigga that made y'all actually start jumping on that because I was screaming sovereign and I was saying, and I said sovereign citizen in a mixtape, maybe 2 or 3 songs or maybe 4 or little ad-libs, right? And y'all just jumped on the wave and didn't even study nothing. Y'all didn't study a damn book, a law, all that stuff I be telling y'all about. Yo, don't listen to me. Go do the research, blah, 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 blah. Y'all don't even hear that. Y'all looking for the easy way out. So because they jumped on sovereign citizen off of an ad lib and then started saying that and thought that that was what was protecting our rights in New York City, not knowing that New Yorkers is very intelligent and we read. So because I had all of the laws, it didn't matter. I could have said, I'm the okie doke Smurfs. And they would have been like, who the fuck is that? I'd have been like, yo, USC 18, USC Title 18, blah, 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 oh, USC 20, CFR, boom, blah, 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 blah. And them niggas would have been looking at me like, wait, so we gotta respect this Smurf, really Smurf or Snurfer. Or whatever the hell I would have named it. You understand? Because it's not about the title. It's about what comes out your mouth. It's about your intelligence and how much you know about this. Actually, it ain't about nothing else. You can hear everybody talk about it, but until you make the connections and the neural pathways in your own brain that can link all this information so that way you can snatch it whenever you want, you won't have it, all right? So let's just kill the sovereign citizen title. There is only sovereign. I am a sovereign. I'm sovereign, not the sovereign that they be talking about in the government and all that. I'm beyond all that nonsense, all right? Let's just keep it a fact, keep it a being, all right? So if y'all going to be sovereigns, that means you're the king of your environment, the king of your territory, which means you got to know everything about everything outside of your territory. You got to do all the work that you let your cities do for you. You let your lawyers do for you. You understand? Your police do for you. That's what a sovereign is. Sovereign do everything when they not everything, but most likely anything that they can do, they will do on their own accord, bro. And they ain't gonna cry about it. So get rid of the citizen off of sovereign. We sovereign. I'm sovereign. Y'all got a problem with anything that's sovereign, y'all holler at me because I got the sovereign claiming rights. Stamped. That's all I'm going to say. All that citizen nonsense, like I said, it was just because I made a mixtape and somebody heard it and they ran with it down south and they started getting their ass arrested and shot and slapped up and all kinds of dumb shit. And I was looking like, damn, my G, like they don't even know the laws, son. It's like, how you don't know your laws, nigga? Like the bar max changes, it has variations for every state. So because I have the bar max criminal or whatever in New York, and I go like to Florida, I still have the bar max, but in their bar max, it might be little variations to certain things. And if I don't know that, and I go down there screaming shit and acting like I got the juice, nigga, I'm gonna end up in a fucking cell with my head bust open. So let's just clear that right now. Everybody on the internet, everybody in the world, if you are sovereign, then that means you run your territory. My body is my territory. I run this. There's a non-consent automatic with me, with any foreign corporation. So they have to ask me for consent. They can't even assume that I'm not consenting, that I am consenting. They got to say, yo, they just got to assume I don't ever consent until I say, okay, I consent to that. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't even non-consenting to the arrest and none of that stuff. So when y'all went through the process, it was illegal. Y'all didn't know what y'all was doing out there in the South with that sovereign citizen bullshit. I was a mixtape with ad-libs on it, nigga. I never named the mixtape Sovereign Citizens. It was named Frozen Water, nigga, because we was freezing the maritime law, nigga. Y'all still don't get it. Y'all still don't get the spiritual magic behind shit. But anyway, it's your boy Kupz the Universe, a.k.a. Polar Lounge, a.k.a. P.D. Mossberg, and I just wanted to clear that record and set that straight. I'm the reason that they started screaming sovereign citizens. But I was not out here saying, yo, I'm a sovereign citizen, right? I was saying I'm a sovereign. And also, I did that ad-lib, but the ad-lib carried over. And also, if I wanted to title myself anything, I would have made any public official respected because I'm about that shit. It didn't matter what I would have named myself. I would have made them respected. Even if they would have been like it's an oxymoron, I'd have been like, yo, life is an oxymoron. You live and you die. Your spirit don't die, but your body does. It's an oxymoron. The fuck out my face. You feel me? But like I said, that's the whole reason why that sovereign citizen shit running around. Everybody running around like they doing something to it. Nigga, I'll kill it right now, nigga. There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. I never said that. On Frozen Water, it never said that. It just said sovereign citizens, right? As an ad-lib. And I was still learning then. So it's not even my fault. But I knew more enough of the laws that even though I was saying stupid shit like that, or I was saying it on my mixtape, I knew I was a sovereign. I knew how to combat anybody in physical, mental, without breaching the peace of public officials, because that's the treaties. There's peace treaties between foreigners. Get it? So shout out to everybody that's going to do a video on sovereign citizens. But listen, y'all all refer to this video because I was the originator of that dumb shit. Mind you, I didn't mean to originate it. I was on my sovereign shit. I'm still on my sovereign shit. You see what I'm saying? Sovereign national, indigenous national, sovereign indigenous national, whatever you want to say. But you know what I'm saying? The sovereign citizen thing, nigga, hear it from the horse's mouth, from the Frozen Water mixtape. That's where they even got the idea from. And I'm telling you, that does not exist. You are a sovereign or you are not. You could be a national and not be a sovereign. You can be a sovereign and be a national, because not everybody's the king of themselves. Not everybody runs you know what I'm saying, they tribe. Not everybody is a leader. So everybody can't be a king. You see what I'm saying? But yeah. So I just want to clear that up. That's it. After today, I don't hear nobody talking about that shit, son. If somebody's talking about that shit, it's because there's somebody running around down south somewhere still screaming that shit. Nobody does that. Nobody says that. Nobody even gives a fuck. We only run around with the laws and the codes and that's where our power comes from. We just oh yeah, and knowing where to go, knowing what buttons to press, knowing how to get things done. That's it. All right? So it's your boy Kupz the Universe, a.k.a. P. Mossberg, a.k.a. Polar Lounge, and I love everybody, including those that was calling themselves that shit and getting their ass knocked out by police, shot, and arrested, because that shit wasn't even supposed to be happening like that. Then it gave them a false conception of like the shit's false. In which case, it's not. It's just y'all didn't have the education to back them off. Any national, any sovereign, any indigenous that don't know the truth about what they're doing and what they're saying is not going to succeed. And that's it, all right? So everybody have a blessed one, man. I love y'all. I got another video coming soon. All right, coming real soon. And I'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace.